Hey, it's Miss Jennifer, and today I'm reading day 30 of our Red Letter Challenge. There once was a rich man who was near death. He was very grieved because he had worked so hard for his money, and he wanted to be able to take it with him to heaven. So he began to pray that he might be able to take some of his wealth with him. An angel heard his plea and appeared to him and said, "I'm sorry, but you cannot take your wealth with you." The man begged the angel to speak to God to see if he could bend the rules. The man continued to pray that his wealth would follow him. The angel appeared and informed the man that God had decided to allow him to take one suitcase with him. Overjoyed, the man gathered his large suitcase and he filled it with pure gold bars and placed it beside his bed. Soon after, he died, and he showed up at the gates of heaven to greet St. Peter. St. Peter saw the suitcase and said, "Hold on, you can't bring that in here." The man explained to St. Peter that he had permission and had asked if he could please verify his story with the Lord. Sure enough, St. Peter checked it out, and he came back and said, "Okay, you're right. You're allowed to bring one carry-on bag, but I'm supposed to check its contents before letting you through." St. Peter opened up the suitcase to inspect the worldly items that the man found too precious to leave behind, and said, "You brought pavement?" Jesus talks about the Sermon on the Mount and making sure that we store up treasures in heaven instead of treasures on earth. He mentions not to worry about clothes because this is something that they've never had to worry about. I feel guilty sometimes seeing all the things that I have and knowing that others don't have as much. A couple years ago, I posted something on Facebook about how many pairs of shoes my wife had. Out of everything that I posted this year, this drummed up the most comments from my family and friends. I asked the question, should she give some away, or is it okay for a woman to have this many pairs of shoes? The responses were all over the map. She did end up giving a lot of her shoes away to charity, and I was really proud of her for that. But now I'm wondering about myself. How many pairs of shoes do I really need? Do I have too much? Can someone benefit from the stuff that's just sitting around in my closets and my dressers? How about you? How much is too much? God says that whenever we do something for the least of these in our world, or the least privileged, it's just like we're doing it for Jesus. Imagine Jesus on the side of the road with no food and no clothes. If you knew that it was Jesus, what would you do? Of course, you would clothe him. You would give him whatever he needed. If your dressers are full and you don't have to worry about whether or not you'll have clothes to put on tomorrow, you can be a big part of completing today's challenge. Listen to Jesus' words about what it means to store up treasure in heaven as opposed to accumulating things like earthly possessions. Matthew 6:19 through 21. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves will not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life. Don't worry about what you will eat or drink, or about your body or what you will wear. Life is more than food, and the body, and your clothes. Look at the birds in the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers in the field grow? They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all of his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and gone tomorrow or thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? Do not worry, saying, what shall we eat? What shall we drink? What shall we wear? For the pagans run after these things, And your heavenly Father, He knows that you need them. But seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all of these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own already. And that was day 30 of our Red Letter Challenge.